Hey, welcome to Asking for a Friend. Today we have Tim Windhorst, who is one of the owners of Heritage Home Loans, and my boss. And today the point of this show is just to introduce you to the company I work for, and just talk about what's better about local versus national companies. So let's just start. Introduce yourself to the internet.
Thanks, Tony. Again, like Tony said, my name's Tim Windhorst. I'm one of three principal owners of Heritage Home Loans. My original principal owner of Heritage Home Loans retired this February, so we've made some changes with the company and onward. And I'm a local native of Spokane, been here my whole life, attended Washington State University, graduated in December of '98. Our company was founded in August of 2006, so we're 13 plus years strong, and love our local community and love helping out everyone.
Let's just talk about what type of loans Heritage does, so people kind of know what we do.
Well, we're not your box lender. We're not Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America lender. We're a direct lender with correspondent capabilities. So yes, we offer your standard product, conventional FHA, VA, USDA, but we're also able to get outside of the box with some product. Your all-in-one construction loans, your two-close construction loans, your renovation loans, and what they call non-QM loans. Those are loans maybe back in the day that used to be considered subprime. They're more your alternative lending loans, maybe the self-employed borrower or the credit challenged borrower that doesn't necessarily have credit that lives up to a conforming standard. So we're really out of the box with that. I mean, we're trying to suit everybody that's out there in the community that deserves to have a loan. Again, it's prudent lending, but anybody that deserves to have a loan, we're trying to serve.
One of the things I think I try to say to clients is, hey, if you can't get pre-approved right now, it's probably not your time to buy a home. And so let's do some things to get you ready, because there's so many options out there that if we can't find something for you, it's probably best that we do some different things to fix you up and get you ready to do that.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, we've come out of probably the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. So, and a lot of that was done from a financial lending standpoint, securitization of notes. So I think the biggest thing right now, and people think that maybe we have a housing bubble, and I'm not so sure of that. I don't believe that, because of the strength of underwriting, of the strength of file securitization, that it's just not there right now.
Right.
I mean, honestly, I think files that go through underwriting, whether they're non-QM or all-in-one construction or standard conforming product, is a good product. And the market's showing that, because the default rate is at the lowest of all-time history.
Right. Yeah, it's tougher. I mean, I didn't do this during the crash or whatever, so I don't necessarily know what that was like. But underwriting is tough. Like, you can't just squeak your way through. You got to show your stuff.
No, it's very prudent. It's very detailed. Some of our borrowers, some of our clients feel that the strain of documentation through the process is kind of stringent, strenuous, maybe elongated, but it's a process that was needed, and it's making prudent choices that we need to make in the market.
Okay, so we kind of talked about Heritage, and let's just talk about maybe the difference between us and maybe the local bank or the local credit union. What are the differences between the way we do it and they do it?
Well, that's kind of a complicated question. I mean, if you go on the internet and you log into your account, they want an account number. So you're really just kind of an account number. I'd like to say that since we're local and since we do business locally, that there's more of a personal hand touch to the way we deliver business. So for me and our company, I think it's more of a honesty to the client to be able to deliver the best product. If you walk into a big box bank, a Wells Fargo, again, Chase of America, Bank of America, you're getting their product, you're getting their underwriting guidelines, you're getting their interest rates. If you come in to see us or any of our employees, you're getting a myriad of options where you can shop for the best rate, the best product, the best offering out in the marketplace. And I think being able to deliver that to our clientele is one of the specialist things that we can do. I mean, it's personal, and we have local accountability and honesty, and I don't think you have that with a box bank. It's just not there.
And one of the licensing too, like you and I have to have actual mortgage, like we have to go through specific licensing things where they don't necessarily, theirs is different, correct?
Right. Yep. Everybody's issued an NMLS number, which is required by the federal government. But just because you have that number does not mean that you've actually been through the licensing process. It's a tenuous process. It takes a long time. It's hard. It's like a Series 7 license. It's not easy to pass. So we're studied, we're very educated on what we're doing, and it's going to show through the process. If anybody's been through the process as of recent, it's going to show.
I think, yeah, I agree with that. Like you could just tell if you're going through the process side by side, it's not even close. I think part of that just comes from the fact that our main focus, like we don't do anything other than home loans. Like you're not going to come here and get an auto loan or whatever.
No.
So
don't do insurance. We don't do any of the side selling. Our focus is 100% on residential investment property mortgages. We do what we do very well, and we do it because we're educated with it. Mm-hmm. The amount of units that we're doing tells you that you should be working with us because we're experienced.
So kind of the same question when we deal with, but let's talk about the difference between us and maybe like Quicken Loans, or for those veterans out there, USAA, Veterans United, Navy Fed, those kind of things. Let's talk about those differences.
Yeah, I'm not one to badmouth a good company. These are national companies. They're great. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to hometown stuff, localization is always better. Uh-huh. I mean, we've worked very hard to supply concrete relationships with our vendors, our mm-hmm. appraisers, our title companies, our escrow companies, our insurance agents. And I think that trust between vendors goes a long way. And right. It really expedites the loan process. And, you can maybe garner a better interest rate on the internet, but if it means your house closes in 25 days or 65 days, which would you rather do? Right. And would you rather have to do it with accountability? I mean, if you can have somebody accountable in town, somebody that you might have to go face to face with and say what's going on, uh-huh. I think that goes a long way. Yeah, and I think the internet stuff is like it works, but like one thing I always say is like we all have the internet. Like it's not just specific to certain companies, but we also are able to, like, being a face to face is a big deal, especially when it's hundreds or thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars that are at stake. Yeah, absolutely. I think as long as you can compete with technology and can compete with price and have the localization factor, I think we're way ahead of the game. And we have all that. I mean, we can't stay in this market if we don't. So right. That's all there, and you're helping a small town business. Why should people let's just start with local lender. We've kind of talked about why they should use us, but why should people use a local lender over the other options? It might seem like a simple answer, but really it's accountability. I mean, we have a face and a name attached to what we do. And if you can drive 5 minutes or 20 minutes and come into our office and expect accountability, we're there for it. From a loan perspective, it gets a little bit different. I mean, we've got personalized relationships with our vendors, appraisers, title companies, escrow companies, insurance companies. And although it may not seem like it is an attachment, it's a daily working process. And when you get somebody that's not local, that is not the case. It slows down the process. The orders aren't placed in a priority, and you just don't have the same attention to detail. When you're trying to protect your name and your service and your efficiency in a town, you do what you can do to make every transaction 100% efficient. Right. And just the amount of people that
you know, in a normal real estate transaction, one of our normal local real estate transactions, there's like 13 people, right? Something like that. I think 11 to 13 people that are a part of the transaction. Think about when you go to Quicken Loans or whatever, when every time you talk to someone on the phone, it's a different person, but they're just pulling up your name and number on a computer.
Account number, basically. Yeah. It's and again, back to the accountability. I mean, if you really narrow it down from a loan team to a transactional team to a funding team to a celebration team, I think everybody in the process has to be organized.
Right.
And they have to be talking to each other and communicating when things need to be done. And if you don't have that localization, if somebody from Texas is calling somebody in Spokane and wants to know, how do I deliver closing documents? That shouldn't be a question.
Right.
You should be able to know how to deliver closing documents. So
Right.
it's one of those things where you have to trust the process and trust the localization of the people.
So we always ask, where's your favorite place to eat or grab a drink in Spokane?
Oh boy, I have to break it into two because I like both. But to eat's probably North Hill. They have some awesome pho. Actually just had that today. And to drink, I'm an IPA guy, so any brewery in town is my favorite. We like to finish the week strong, so we always go and have a couple beers at the end of the week. And right now, and since opening, probably TT's Old Iron Brewery out in the Spokane Valley. It's a great place to eat, great place to have an IPA, always something new on tap. So.
And that's a barbecue place, correct?
Barbecue, yep. A friend of mine, actually, excellent barbecue. So. Visit, check it out.
So there's people out there that have fallen in love with Heritage Home Loans, thanks to you. Let's tell them where they can find us.
You can find us online at www.hhlnorthwest.com or locally 509-252-4000.
Awesome. We'll see you next time on Asking for a Friend.